What is up, everybody? In this video we are doing a performance review of these. It's a Saucony Ride 14. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. How are we all doing? I'm out here in the blazing heat. It is over 30 degrees today. I don't know what that is in old money or new money, whatever you call it, but all I can tell you is it is really hot. Hence the snood on my head to try and soak up some of the sweat as we march along to just an easy 6 miles today. So 6 miles after yesterday's higher effort, so I'm just working out which way to go around this gate. But yeah, high effort for me yesterday, speed session. So today's run is a low to moderate effort. 6 miles in this heat would normally be a low effort, but because of the heat, it's going to end up being low to moderate. So I needed to pick a shoe that would be comfortable, be sort of my best friend as we went along and did these 6 miles, which is why I went for the Ride 16. Now, if you haven't seen the channel last year, the Ride 13 was my daily train of last year, and the reason for that is it was pretty lightweight, stable, decent upper, decent midsole, with loads of traction on the outsole. Ticks all the boxes. They just fit and worked for me. So the 14 came out, which is a mild update, and we'll get onto that in a second. But basically, it still remains one of my best daily trainers in my rotation. So I'm looking for mixed effort today, which is another reason why I picked the Ride. Also, mixed terrain, as at the moment I'm on sort of tarmac around Lee Valley. I've tried to get in here because it's a little bit shaded, tree line, sorry, so I get some shade from there. But I needed a shoe again that performs well on sort of multi-terrain, so again, natural fit for the Ride 14. So let's get into, and I won't talk about them, I'll put something up about the stats and the features of the shoe. I know you can now get it for under £100 here in the UK, which is good news. We love a shoe under £100. I've got the black colourway. I'll show you the shoe in more detail in a minute when we get up here further along the run. But I've got the black colourway. It's got an 8mm drop from memory. Got a usual mesh upper on it, power run midsole, and as I said, an amazing amount of grip on the outside. But I'll show you all that in a second. The changes, we'll talk about them quickly, then we'll get on to how it's been doing. The changes are, I think even mild is a strong word. It's basically the same shoe as the 13. They changed a couple of bits on the upper and stuff like that, but it still feels very much like the 13 of old. And I personally have not found any difference between the two. So if you can get the 13 cheaper than 90 quid, which is what the 14 is going for, then I'd recommend them over the 14. So how's it been getting on? Where I've been using it, all that kind of stuff. We'll do that next. So the shoes really worked out for me on days like today, where it's sort of mixed terrain, mixed efforts. You know, I'm not just going out and running easy. I'm not just going out and doing like a moderate effort, you know, where I need to pick up the pace or anything like that. But where I'm changing it around, running a bit more to feel than to heart rate. You know, today I've not even got my heart rate monitor on because of the heat. It will skew it out. So I'm just out here plodding along, running to feel and getting the 6 miles done while I can. It's nice in the shade. The shoe definitely feels really stable underfoot, and that's one of the really good things about the Ride. It really feels stable. It does feel low to ground. It's not got a high stack height. I don't know, I would have put it up already, but it doesn't feel like a high stack shoe in any way. It doesn't feel unstable in any way. You've got a good amount of ground contact in terms of feel. It is, I don't know if plush is the right word, but there's enough around the collar and tongue in terms of comfort. There's quite a lot of foam there. But like, right about heat, today I'm running along here, as I said, it's over 30 degrees. and my shoes, my feet don't feel overly warm. It's no difference to what I'd be wearing today than any other daily trainer. They feel just about the same as most of the other daily trainers that I've got in terms of the heat. So don't be worried about the thickness. It's not like you know, some of the Triumphs or Glycerins out there that are really thick. You don't feel it at all. It is that sort of blend between the Kinvara in terms of firmness and, it's going to sound nuts, but the Speed, which is soft, the Endorphin line, which is really soft. It is a nice blend between the two. It kind of reminds me more of sort of the React foam, but like a lesser amount of it. That's what it kind of reminds me of. But the difference is React really comes to you when you start getting more miles on it. It softens up. This doesn't. The Power Run in the Ride 14, Ride 13, it stays pretty consistent. So again, I think that's actually quite good because it's reliable and dependable. But the overriding feeling of the shoe is comfort, low touch to ground, and yeah, just the ability with the outsole to, I mean, even running along here, I can feel it pulling up against a slightly gravelly surface that I'm running on. No issues in terms of heat spots, no issues in terms of when they get soaked, they feel like bricks on my feet, none of that. The only thing I would say about them in terms of negatives is they're not that quick, and they're not that comfortable for those longer miles versus some of my other shoes. See, I think if you're loving the ride and the way it's set up, I think you'll dig it over the longer miles. But for me, I just want that little bit more cushioning, a little bit more love as I'm out there doing those longer miles. But that's probably about it in terms of major negatives from how they've performed. It's so hot, even when I stopped, this wood that I put my foot on is so hot. So anyway, look, here's the shoe. There, look, so there's your Power Run. That's what I was talking about plush. Look at the sort of thickness in around the shoe. Do you see what I mean? But basically, apart from what they've changed on the upper, it's effectively the same sort of shoe. The outsole, which is what I was trying to tell you, look at it, look. It's an absolute beast. Now, I've got wear, as you'd expect probably from me, down here and along the outside. So most of the wear on this shoe is along here and along here, where I'm rocking around with my pronation. But a bit annoying, look, stone stuck in there, look. That'll get my nerves. But overall, the wear and tear on it, I mean, it's incredible really, when you think about it, you know? But yeah, that is it, all hot and wet off my foot. Sliding them back on after taking them off, it is so comfortable. Just, it feels nice when you put your foot in. And I think that means a lot when you get a shoe. That sort of confidence, even when you put your foot in. And you know it's like when you put, oh well, maybe you don't, but when you put one of those racing shoes on and it's like, oh God, this is a bit tighter and all that sort of stuff. But that, it just effortlessly glides in to your foot into the shoe. Oh man, and some people moan about the laces and stuff. I really like the laces. I mean, I don't do my daily trainers up that tight. I like to sort of just feel loose and comfortable in the shoe. And again, I've got no problem with the laces. So yeah, what's the best way to sort of conclude it really? There's no doubt, right, in 2021, there are much better daily trainers out there. Much more funky ones, much more lively ones, softer, faster. I don't know, just there's so much better. There's so much better. There's so many great options out there in 2021. And what Saucony done with the Ride is basically slightly changed the upper and said, you know, now you can buy it again kind of thing. So they're a bit naughty in that respect and how they mildly updated it, but I don't think it really needed to. It is a good shoe. It is slightly firmer than some of the other ones out there. It is stable and it does the job. I don't think they get a fair sort of write-up. People don't look at the Ride series that much anymore. Let me know in the comments, do you? But it is a good shoe, people. Don't underestimate the Saucony Ride.